Hey guys, how you doing? So I just posted a video about putting the rug in the minivan, and I'm already getting some questions about the Prius situation. So I wanted to give you a little update on where I'm at with that. I still haven't decided. You know, you're getting to see my thought process when I make these videos, and I'm getting feedback, and that helps me make decisions. But I haven't really decided because I don't really need to decide yet. I'm thinking replacing my vehicle is probably going to be a year or so down the road. My first priority right now is getting out of debt, which that should be done in a few months, so that's a good thing. And then getting a pretty good savings going, so in case I get the opportunity to travel sooner than expected, I have that money saved. Because say if 6 months down the road, either my dad passes or something changes, I would much rather have my current minivan and have no debt and have money so I can travel right then and not have to get a regular job than have a newish Prius or newer vehicle and still have debt and no money saved. Then I have to stay around this area and get a regular job and work to pay that off. So it's more important to have the debt gone, have a good amount saved, so if the opportunity arises, and that may happen sooner than expected, if that happens, I'm out of here. You know, I have nothing holding me back. I'm free to travel, even if it's for a certain amount of time. You know, I do plan, like I say, I do plan on doing work camping and that type of thing. If I need to, that's fine. But I'm trying to avoid having to stick around Massachusetts and get a regular job. You know, if I'm going to be living in my vehicle, I don't want it to be in Massachusetts. It's too cold, you know, in the winter. So that's my priority. So I'm still interested in the Prius. I'm looking into other vehicles too. I'm going to tell you some of the concerns I have with the Prius. Number one, I've been asking people who have Prius and watching videos, and it does appear that the clearance of the Prius might be an issue. I do want to be able to travel on some back dirt roads to get really, you know, kind of deep into the boonies to do some hiking and exploring. I'm not sure how much better a minivan would be than a Prius, you know, in that situation, but I know the minivan has better clearance anyway. I think it would be better in the mud and stuff like that. From what I'm talking to people and watching, the Prius is not that good in the mud and it doesn't have very good clearance. So that's a little bit of a concern for me. Another thing I forgot to say is I have quite a bit of money invested in the minivan. You know, it cost me $1,500 to put the battery and the solar panel on the roof, and then another $300 and something for the Dometic refrigerator. That would be another thing I'd have to sacrifice if I went to the Prius. I really don't know how I would use that Dometic refrigerator, and I really do like it. And there'd be no room for a battery. You know, there'd just be no room. So that's another thing against getting a new vehicle too soon, is I want to get my money's worth out of the investments I already did make in the minivan. The other concern is what I call lounging time. Say if you know, it's bad weather or you just feel like hanging out in your vehicle. I know in my minivan that it's very comfortable to do that. I've spent hours doing that and I love it. I can get in different positions, laying on the floor, getting in a chair. You know, I can get in multiple different positions and be very comfortable and happy in my minivan, even if it was for a couple days for bad weather or whatever. I'm a little concerned with being in a smaller vehicle doing that. You basically can lay down or sit in one of the seats and that's about it. And say if you just want to sometimes it's nice to just get in your vehicle and close up the windows and no one knows you're in there. So you just have total privacy. You can just chill and relax and you don't have to worry about someone like, ooh, what are they doing in there? Why are they sitting in that vehicle so long? I feel like, you know, say if you close up your Prius, you know, you put the window coverings and the curtain, that's a very, very small space. That becomes even very, very confining. And to spend a lot of time lounging like that, I'm just not sure. You have to weigh out, is it worth the gas mileage and the climate control to have that such a smaller space to lounge in? I'm not as much concerned about the space as far as bringing everything I need. I feel like I could manage that. I feel like almost everything that I have in my van now, I recently posted a tour video of that. I feel like everything that I've had in the van, almost, I could fit in a Prius. It would just cut back on my lounging area. So that's my biggest concern with the Prius. So on that topic of lounging time, I feel like, say if I did have to stay in one spot and work for, excuse me, for a few weeks or a month, I feel like that's a lot more comfortable to do that in a bigger vehicle, even a minivan, than the Prius. The Prius is ideal for traveling long distances because of the gas mileage and going from spot to spot. But if I get to the point where I do need to work for any length of time, it's going to be a lot harder to work all day and come back to a Prius to spend all my free time in. That's again with the lounging time. That's the biggest concern with me as far as living in a car as opposed to even a minivan, or even an SUV. You can probably sit up in bed a little bit in the SUV, but this not going to be the space that even a minivan has. And I already know that I can do the minivan because I've done it. My dream vehicle, and I don't even think they make it, would be a four-wheel drive hybrid minivan with climate control. That would be awesome. Being high off the ground, having four-wheel drive. I've actually looked into some SUVs also. Some hybrid SUVs. That might be a good option for me. That would give me that little bit of space, not as big as a minivan, but bigger than a Prius, and give me the four-wheel drive and the clearance to go in the back country. If I got a hybrid, it would give me, better gas mileage probably than my minivan. So that's where I'm at right now, but I haven't really made any decisions. I went and looked at the Prius and I decided, yeah, I think I could do it. I think I could fit in it. But I'm not sure. And luckily I don't have to decide right now. I'm sure by the time I have the money saved, I should be out of debt in 3 or 4 months. By the time then I'll be saving some money, but I want to have that savings for traveling if that comes up. And then after that, I'll also be saving to replace the vehicle that I have. So that's where I'm at with that. I'm not really looking at any vehicles because I'm not in that position. I could say it's probably a year and a half away, depending on, unless I get the opportunity to travel sooner, then I am getting the hell out of here. Because I've been waiting, as you know, I have been waiting years to get out there on the road. Even if it was just for a month or two at a time, I'd be fine with that. All right. Well, thanks for watching and all your questions and comments. Take care.